Welcome back, Commanders, and thank you for joining me for this new update for No Time Left. In the previous episode, we talked about the hacking system, and I briefly touched upon what I call the favor system. I can choose to accept their surrender, deny their surrender and continue the combat, or request a favor to be returned in at some future point. I'll go into that in more detail in a future video, but for now, let's continue the fight. Well, now I'm here to explain in more detail what that means. So join me as I show you this new update to No Time Left, along with a few other little bonuses that I really enjoy. So for this vertical slice that I've created, you get to pick which avatar. For the final build, I'm going to have many avatars, and please in the comments section down below, let me know what kind of avatar you would like to see. For this one, I'm going to go ahead and pick the alien. Let's give him a name. My guy, Larry. And now we choose the difficulty. Difficulty in No Time Left is going to be handled a little bit different than most games. You're going to have your typical more damage and less health, but when you step up to Admiral, you're actually going to have a different experience. In Admiral mode, mechanics will work differently. For example, when you repair your ship, it will consume spare parts to do so. So in Ensign and Commander, you can just repair your ship if you have an available repair bot. But when it comes to Admiral, you have to make sure you plan ahead. Play safe, be careful, it's a challenge. For this showcase, I'm going to go ahead and pick Ensign because I'm better at making games than playing them. And now, which ship would we like to pilot? So we have the human, the Silicarian, and the stealth ship. Now I've made a new user interface for the Mako, so I'd like to go ahead and show you guys that. Now before we begin, I want to talk a little bit about performance. If you look over my head here, I have the frames per second running constantly to show you how performant No Time Left is. And what settings do we have? So we have it set to 1920 by 1080. We have the quality set to ultra. We have maximum 8x anti-aliasing, shadows, and everything else set to max. But what kind of system are we running? Well, my development machine is a little bit old, so I'm running a 6700K Intel, non-overclocked at 4 gigahertz. I have 16 gigs of 2133 megahertz RAM running on an NVIDIA GTX 1070 with 8 gigabytes of VRAM. By no means a modern gaming setup. About 10 years old. But what I found is this setup is so performant and No Time Left is so optimized, you could probably even run this on a mid-range laptop and get really nice fidelity and frame rate. So I'm very excited about that. But now, let me show you the user interface. So I wanted the user interface of the Mako to reflect its overall design. It's an older ship, it's from a bygone era, the first generation space warships produced by the human species. We've got very mechanical sounds and feel to everything. And that is reflected in how you interact with it. But we're not here to talk about the user interface. So let's talk about the favor system. So I'm going to go ahead and get started with the first event, the first mission.
We have picked up a distress beacon from an unmarked vessel, presumably a pirate. The ship in the distance appears to be transmitting on all channels. It's crushed between two large rocks and requesting assistance. Most likely it was mining the asteroids illegally. Sensors show no other ships in the area.
Okay, good to know.
You have the following options. Attempt to free the pirate by shooting the asteroid. Destroy the pirate. No one will miss them.
Savage.
Use a beam weapon to precisely cut out the ship from the asteroid.
So we have 3 options on how we want to proceed with this event. We do have a 4th option. We can completely ignore the event and just move about our business if we've got more important things to do. But this 3rd option is interesting. Certain events will have a special solution shown in blue. This solution will require a special weapon or item, in this case, a beam weapon. So we have a ship that is trapped between asteroids and needs to be freed. We can use our regular weapons, but that will result in a different outcome. If we use this option here, a beam weapon, we will be given special rewards. So let's go ahead and see what's going on. Let's touch base with the ship and see what's going on.
We are requesting immediate assistance. We've encountered a critical navigation failure and are immobilized. Require immediate extraction.
Okay, so not exactly truthful. You know, a little bit of a bending of the facts there, but okay. So he's got a critical navigation failure and needs to be extracted. We can choose how we want to proceed with this event, but we're going to go ahead and engage with the asteroid because I want to show you guys this cool new favor system. So let's get into a good shooting solution. Ooh, careful. Don't hit that. Okay. Okay, let's shut down our engines. Let's burn that asteroid down.
Here, now go.
Okay, so he's presenting us with a reward, and now we begin the favor system. We can choose to accept these rewards if the situation calls for it, if we need it, or we can forego the rewards and put the pirate in debt to us. So let's do that. Okay, excellent. So he's in debt to us. Now what does that mean? Well, stay with me. We're going to get to that in a second. So now we're going to show our next setup. Let me get my shields. Oh, my shields are turned on. Good. Okay, so now we have combat. Shields are getting damaged. Let's see what we can do here. What are they running? They have an ion weapon and a beam weapon. Perfect. So the beam weapon cannot pierce our shields, but the ion weapon can. So we definitely have to be careful of that. Our shields are taking quite a hit. Okay. And let's get... There we go. Firing all weapons. Okay, transfer some repair units over to the bridge. Shields are back up. Okay, we've lost steering control. Our bridge is down. But we can still hit the brakes. Okay, bridge is back up. We're trying to force the pirate to surrender. Okay, sensors are down.
This is Isabella Blackwood. You've proven yourself. We yield. We have a peace offering if you'll listen.
Okay, so same situation. We can choose how we want to proceed. Now, because it's a combat situation, we actually have another option. We can choose to ignore their surrender and destroy them and risk this offer for possibly better loot. Okay? We can accept the surrender if we need the spare parts, fuel, or we just don't want to continue in combat if our ship is too close to being destroyed. Or we can put her into debt for us as well. Now, again, putting people in debt means you don't get the rewards for what they're offering. But let's go ahead and see what happens. Perfect. So she accepted our surrender, our offer of being in debt to us. But boy, oh boy, we took quite a while up there. Okay, so now, what do all these favors mean? What do we do with them? And now we're going to discover that. There are going to be certain events in No Time Left that can be handled differently if you have favors that you can call in.
A distress signal is being broadcast from a nearby mining outpost. Due to the rebel blockade in the system, they have nearly exhausted their supply of mining explosives. They are looking to trade.
Excellent. Okay, so mining explosives, huh? Let's give them a call and see what's going on.
Unidentified ship. This is Brooke Talvor, head of the mining outpost. The rebels have had our supply routes locked down for weeks now. No deliveries in or out. We've nearly
This guy's a great
exhausted our
voice, doesn't
supply
he?
of explosives, and without those charges, we can't crack the deep mineral deposits. Do you have any explosives you can trade?
Explosives. Okay, so we have some missiles that we can trade. But what if we don't have missiles? Well, we have favors. Or maybe we have missiles, but our main weapon systems rely on missiles, and we don't want to part with any of them. So we can choose to use the missiles or not. Since we have options, we can call someone in to see if they can help us. Or we could just tell them, sorry, we need everything that we have right now, and we just can't part with it. But let's go ahead and call in a favor. So here, as we continue with our favor system, we have two people who've become indebted to us. Let's call Isabella and see what she can do for us.
What do you want, Captain?
I want some help. I need 3 crates. What do you got?
3 crates of mining explosives. To a rebel blockade?
That's what I'm asking.
That's not just smuggling. That's smuggling hazardous materials past trigger-happy revolutionaries. But I do owe you one. saved my skin and my ship.
Yes, I did.
All right, I'll do it. For you, no charge. Just this once. But if anyone asks, you never saw me, never knew me, and certainly never heard where those explosives came from. Deal.
Okay. Agreed. So now we're going to contact the mining outpost and let them know that we have their resources, their explosives for them. And I got him 3. Now, in this particular event, that could have gone one of 2 ways. She was able to procure 3 crates for us. In some instances, she can only get us 1, and that will have an effect on the rewards we receive.
This is amazing, Captain. Those 3 crates you brought in saved the entire operation. We'll be able to extract enough to maintain our deep drilling for over a month. The corporation doesn't need to know where they came from. And believe me, I haven't asked.
Not a boy, Brooke.
We installed a specialized augmentation
Okay.
module in your ship. Our engineers calibrated it to your ship's specifications. Fair trade for keeping this asteroid producing, wouldn't you say? No paperwork, no questions, no trail.
All right, what a guy. All right, so we have a special, basic spare part recovery. Awesome. So what is that? Let's go to our inventory. Increases the amount of spare parts collected by 10%. Nice. So every time we collect spare parts from an event, a mission, a quest, or even combat, we're going to get more spare parts. This is huge. This was a big one. What a guy. That guy, Brooke Talver, man. Let me tell you, what a guy.
You've saved lives today, whether you realize it or not. Those explosives mean we can maintain our safe operation. No one will officially know about this exchange, but there are those of us who won't forget.
Okay. And that's the first look at No Time's Left favor system. I'm very excited for this new mechanic, and it's very easy to implement. Let me know down below in the comments how you guys would like to see this implemented, or if you have any ideas. Commanders, thank you again for joining me on this new update for No Time Left, and I'll see you soon.